Hello, everybody. I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Mike DiLisio. Hello.
Yeah, so I figured if you're this is new, folks. During the time in world history where we're all stuck in our homes for the foreseeable future, possibly months, I figured we would do these daily chats here, just to kind of a way to talk back and forth. This is going to be a very hopefully positive thing, except I might say some negative things about solo gaming. I can't though,
No,
can I? Can I say
no, you
negative things?
can't.
Not.
This is the golden age of solo gaming right now.
That's Mike. Someday people will be like, "Yep, March 2020 was when solo gaming took off."
Came into it, so that's right.
So, folks, since I'll be coming on every night, I figured why not have other people join me? So, Mike here is going to be joining me tonight. If you don't know Mike, he works for the Dice Tower.
I
He's
do.
our what? I don't know that we have an official title for you. He's
No, I think
unboxer.
yeah, unboxer. Yeah, I think you part-time video editor, part-time make other stuff. Yeah, unboxer.
Yeah, so we have Dice Tower unboxings, which is mostly Mike at this point in time. He edits a lot of our videos. He shows up on top tens and Board Game Breakfast. Yeah, all around, and he's getting used to life here in Florida,
I am. Yes.
which
It's
is really
it's been
beautiful
a
right
little
now.
adjustment, but it's been good. I've really enjoyed it. I really have.
So, yeah, so that's pretty much the way it's going to be. We're going back and forth. We're playing games. I assume we'll play a lot more games as these times go by. So, let's get to some questions here from people. If there is any questions. Who's that handsome gentleman? Can't answer that. Would you say good night to my 3-year-old daughter Eden? Good night.
Good night, Eden.
Mike, will you be at the retreat? I actually need Mike to edit during that.
Yeah, I've got a whole slate of editing to do. This will be the first Dice Tower retreat that I'm going to, so I'm very excited about that. I've heard nothing but good things, and I was listening to the latest Well, I think it's the latest episode that you and Eric did anyway, where you were talking about the retreat, and you were saying that basically, if you want to have a ratio of basically, I think it was 10 games for every person, that's the one for you. So I'm very much looking forward to that.
That is the truth of it. Although today I pulled out 3 games from the library. The culling is beginning, but we added like 20.
Yes.
So that ratio does not make me happy yet. We'll get to where it's more even as time goes by.
Yes, but the games are in a much better state than they were before. I'm excited about the new wheels on our carts. You were in the library today, right? Working on those.
I was so nervous. I tried to move a cart, and it wasn't moving. I was like, "What? The wheels can't be
no.
broken." Right? The lock was on. So
Okay. Well, the locks work. That's a good thing. We'll take the positive spin on that. The locks work.
So Games of Fire says, Mike, where did you move from?
I moved from Indianapolis, Indiana, and it's a great gaming community. I still have a lot of wonderful friends, and my wife is still there. She's going to be coming down now. Obviously, there's going to be maybe some challenges that weren't there before, but yeah, I moved from Indianapolis, and I'd lived there for a little over 20 years. I was originally a West Coast kid. California is where I was born, but I came here from Indiana.
El Wilder says, played Rhino Heroes Super Battle today, and we used almost all the floors. Have you used all of them before it fell?
I personally have not. I'm not. You have?
I have. We built the whole thing one time, and then you unbuild it, and I think like the first time someone tried to take something off, it fell.
It was done. Yeah.
So
no, I don't know that we've even got close. We tend to go real aggressive with Rhino Hero when my groups play.
I think it was kind of a cooperative type group. If you don't know what we're talking about, folks, here is. Oh, that's the wrong screen. Let's show the right screen. There we go. Here is a picture of Rhino Super Battle.
We have a copy of the giant regular Rhino Hero in the Dice Tower library because I saw that getting played. I want to say on the cruise.
Yeah, I think I think there's a version of this one too that's giant, but it
Oh,
just looks
really?
really cool. So
Yeah.
either way, it's a fun game, and if you've never played it, I highly recommend doing that. Alrighty, let's see what else we got here. This says Rebecca of the Family Showdown listed Orleans Stories as her number 9 game. So there's at least one person who likes it. Any chance we can get you to review it and give us your take? Well, considering the fact we're going to play every game in our collection probably over the next couple months.
True.
It's possible. I'm still curious about it. I think Mike's the one who told me, you're the one who's been telling me like all the negative stuff people have been saying.
Yeah, I've been feeding your head with negativity, but only because it's what I've heard. I have not played it, and I do like Orleans. I even like the cooperative version of it, but I've heard some really, really, and from a lot of different. That was the thing, is I heard it from a number of different people, and so look, I am not a sheep. I'd be happy to play it and give my own opinion on it, but there have been some red flags raised. I'm glad that Rebecca likes it though.
Oh, I mean, I don't disagree. We'll see. I just because everyone dislikes the game doesn't mean I have to like it. I don't understand
I'm constantly
this one.
defending games I like.
That's true. We make Mike in person. This happens all the time.
Yes.
Hey, in the office, who do you think has the most divergent views?
The most divergent views game-wise?
I think we're all kind of at different points in the star.
Yeah, I
Well,
would
except
tend to
we don't
agree.
we don't have a heavy war gamer.
No, we don't.
And we also don't have a super heavy Euro game. Well, we have Jason. If we bring Jason in the mix, then we got
Sure.
everything.
Right. I used to be into heavy Euro games more than I am now. I was just talking about this to somebody recently, and I've just found that I'm gravitating more towards medium weight Euros because I just feel like the experience they give is close enough to those heavy Euros, and the mental load and the rules learning is such that it's not a trade-off I'm looking to do as much anymore, but I'll still play a heavy Euro. I do, and Joe, I think if, Joe's kind of coming back into the channel, and I know that he has a wargaming background.
That's true.
So,
Now that we have Joe, we got everything covered. Except
yeah.
RPGs, which leads us to a question from Ivory Rascal. He says, what's
Okay.
an accessory that every RPG player should have besides the obvious 3? So my first question, Mike, is what are the obvious 3?
I
guess dice.
So, okay.
guess
Dice would be
yes.
an obvious thing. Yes. You would need to have dice. You would probably want to have like those mats, that kind of the square mats where you can dry erase, draw out like your dungeons or what have you.
Yeah, but
Although I don't know if
but
that's necessary.
The DM has that. The RPG player doesn't
Right.
need to have that.
Oh,
Maybe he means
Yeah,
pen
that's a
and
good-
paper.
pen and paper and dice. I mean, that's really all you need, right?
I think so. Like your character sheet.
Sure.
So-
and you could just do that on paper.
So something to roll your dice in, a dice tower or a dice bowl.
Mm-hmm. I think a mini is I like having that mini that represents my character.
I still think a way to communicate with the dungeon master. I saw this one more time where everybody had shields, and then you use your cell phones to communicate with the dungeon master if you wanted to do something secretly, like I want to steal Mike's sword, and you could do that without other people at the table knowing. I like that idea.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that is kind of cool. You should do like an RPG Hanabi where you put your rules up over your head and people have to figure out what's going on, but you can't directly communicate. Maybe not. Might not work.
Trey wants to know, what's your greatest game victory?
I very rarely win games.
Did you win today? Oh no, Z won.
greatest- Z1, yeah, he snatched it. I kept saying I was the paper tiger, and it was only because I was uncharacteristically being, like, I was jokingly being aggressive because, I thought Roy was getting a kick out of it. I'm not sure if he was or not, but I came out of the gate pretty hard, right? And I was doing really well, but I knew probably 3/4 of the way that Z was very quietly, because he had so many of those oil derricks out there. We played a game called Offshore. I really liked. I liked that a lot in the Porta Games release. And so I came in second. I felt like I did pretty good, but my biggest game victory, I'm trying to think of one offhand.
All right, folks. So this is Offshore, by the way. If you can look at it, it's a game that came out from Reporter Games at Essen. There's not actually a lot of information about it online, but here's a picture of the game as you put out your different oil rigs, putting them out on the board, and then there's like a push your luck aspect there, where you're drawing these different tiles. It's a pretty cool game, frankly.
It really is. I was drawing really well. That was the thing I was doing best. I never busted on the push your luck part, and I usually got at least 3 or 4 tiles out before I gave up.
All right, let's see here. Can I explain how I choose contributors? Well, pretty simple, really. I pick people who ask me, and then that are interesting and do a good job. Really, the best way to get on a dice tower, the deepest way to get on a dice tower, is to come on board, do it, and just be involved. That's how Mike. I never heard of Mike before he did stuff for the dice tower, and then he showed up at Gen Con, and we did stuff. And eventually, when we were looking for somebody new, and Mike was interested, I was like, "Oh, I know that guy." That's how. That's how a lot of the industry works, really. But Mike worked hard at Gen Con, so that helped a lot.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I've had people ask me before, how did you get on the dice tower? And, I tell them I wrote Tom an email. I mean, that's what it was. I wrote you an email and kind of pitched you what my idea was. And you asked me to, I doubt you remember this, but you asked me to send you a video. And so I sent you like a 6-minute video. And you're like, okay, cut it down to 2 minutes, do this, this, and this. You gave me some really good constructive criticism. I'm like, oh, okay. So I redid it, had it under 2 minutes, and sent it back to you. And you're like, okay, it'll be on Monday. And that was like, and I was flabbergasted because I thought this would be a much lengthier process. But then I was on Board Game Breakfast that next Monday. And for like the next 2 years, I was on every week with very few exceptions. So, yeah.
See, now I'm seeing if I can find this earliest email. All right.
Oh, that's cool.
Let's see here. You sent me the word breakfast. Oh, you must have been entering a contest. You said you liked... Yep, here's a bunch of... Okay, here he goes. Mike says, my name is Mike DiLisio, and I've been an admirer of the Dice Tower for a number of years. I'll try to keep this brief, and then he immediately talks for another 2 paragraphs.
That's what I do.
He said, no one on your channel talks about solo gaming, slacker. And...
I didn't say slacker.
He didn't. I'm paraphrasing. And blah, blah, blah. I said, send me a sample segment. He sent me one. And then I sent it to this Mike didn't see. I sent this to Sam and Z. Here's what I said to them. I said, do either of you guys want him? I'll take him, but wanted to give you guys a crack at it if you want. And they said, and I know that one of them said, no, I already got Liz Davidson, I think. And then Mike said, I'm sorry to bother you, but you didn't respond yet. And I said... You need a better angle. You don't fill enough of it. And you need to be more excited.
Yeah, no, that's good, though. I mean, that's exactly what I needed to hear. I didn't know. I was, turning my iPhone on, and I didn't have a microphone, nothing. And I barely had an idea. But I had been wanting to do videos for maybe a year and a half, and I finally came up with an idea that I thought that Dice Tower could use, and there you go.
And Mike, this was April 2017, and then Mike went to Ravenwood Castle.
Yes.
Which I'm still jealous of because I have not been there yet.
Oh, it's a cool place in Ohio. It's really, really cool. If anyone has a chance to, if you would like to do like a really unique, not terribly expensive vacation in the future, I would look up this Ravenwood Castle. It literally is a castle that's in the middle of nowhere. That's one thing I will say. It's in the middle of nowhere. So don't expect to do much of anything beyond stay at this really cool castle that has gaming spaces, a little game library there. They host gaming events, so they're very gamer friendly. I think they're at Origins, I think, every year, actually. I think they have a booth at Origins usually. So it's a really cool place.
Yeah, you can see it here. So I'm showing off the pictures of it from their website. All right.
Yeah, it's a neat place.
So let's let me try to get back to my default screen here. And boom, and boom. There we go. All right. Mike, how has your industry status been changed since being promoted to executive vice chairman of the People's Voice? Says David Phillips.
Oh, how has my status changed? Well, let me say, doors are opening that have never opened before. It's a heady time to be Mike DiLisio. No, it actually, that has been so much fun, that whole voice of the people thing that just kind of happened as a joke. When you asked me to do that first one of the People's Choice, I don't even know what kind of prompted me to do that. I just thought it would be funny to kind of speak as the people, and everyone seemed to enjoy it. So,
yeah, but that's really how we operate here. If something funny happens, we just say, "Well, now that's a thing."
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's a thing now.
What game have you upgraded so much you couldn't ever go back to the stock version? Wow, that's Quacks of Quedlingberg, right? I literally don't think I could play the normal version at this point.
Wow.
Those pieces are so good.
Yeah, I think that's a good answer because I think that actually fulfills a functional purpose in addition to looking better. The pieces in Quacks they're gonna kind of wear down over time. I probably would go with Scythe just because although it's such a gorgeous game to begin with, I don't know that you need the upgrades. I just really, really like the like the realistic resources. I'd have a hard time playing with just the cardboard resources in that game.
Orleans is another one. I got the deluxe version of Orleans. It was the first version I got, and I don't know that I've seen the normal Orleans, and I'm like, can't play.
I've only played the normal. I've never played with the super cool Orleans.
A weird one is you should. It's in the Dice Tower library. One of the weird ones for me is Cosmic Encounter. I got my ships painted in it, and now whenever I play Cosmic with unpainted ships, it bothers me.
Ah, yeah, I could see that. I could totally see that.
Do either of us have a most desired unplayed game? Starcadia Quest. I still don't have Starcadia Quest.
That's so funny. I just saw someone posted on Twitter right before we started recording this. They said something like, "I've got to stop ordering games from CMON," and there had to be 15 boxes. The all-in pledge on that was ridiculous, apparently, because it was just boxes upon boxes upon boxes. Most want, I do want to play Tainted Grail quite a bit. I know we have it in the library, but that's a game I don't feel like I feel like I would need to read the rules and know what I'm doing before I get it, because I don't think that's a quick little pop it out on the table and play it in a half-hour type game. But I am interested in that.
All right. Brian Whipple says, Mike, so awesome to see you doing this live show. I've been tooting your horn for a while. Love the work you're doing. Do we need Tom for this Q&A? Well, yes, actually, since I'm running the system.
You are. And I can't see it from my end, but it sounds like you're doing a very good job with all of these impressive graphics. I'm assuming there's animated GIFs everywhere.
No.
Oh, okay.
You say that now, I'm going to get...
My...
Okay. Does Mike play video games?
I do. I don't play them as much now as I used to. I have a Switch that I will play every so often. I grew up playing video games. We talk about how something becomes a thing. I'm the old man of the crew, clearly, and I definitely have leaned into that. But I mean, I played the Atari 2600. Almost every system I've at least been exposed to. The Commodore 64, the Sega Genesis, the NES, the Super NES, even the Intellivision. I don't know if anyone remembers I think it was Sony that made the Intellivision back in the day. So I've played a lot of video games, but I have slowed down in the last 10, 15 years.
We've been talking about video games a lot in the last few. I don't understand. We've been talking a lot. I think it's just a lot of nervous talking, I guess, to some degree, but yeah.
Yeah. I think there's a comfort in your, we're lucky in that, and I really, really mean this. We're lucky in that we have at our workplace a really tight crew of people that genuinely like each other. I mean, if I can be presumptive, I'm assuming that it's not just on my end.
Yes, no, I agree.
I know on my end, but so that is a comfort when you can go to work and you can talk to people that you genuinely enjoy talking to, and it's not like we're not doing work, But you can also interact and yeah, we have been talking a lot about video games. Skyrim, I know, has been it's so much so that I was even telling my wife that I'm considering getting that for the Switch because I haven't actually played it. My oldest son played it on the Xbox and beat it. I can't tell you how many times over. There we go. Look at that right there.
I have not
so I've watched him play.
I didn't touch Skyrim today because, I'm trying to like not play it
You're
all
weaning
the
yourself?
time. Not weaning myself. I'm just trying to come down to a normal zone.
Yeah.
All right. Zachary says, sorry, I just joined, so I likely missed it, but are you holding hostages? Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I know what he is. Yes. See, clearly, if you're going to be a hostage, you give them a Switch, and that's probably the best way you can be a hostage, I imagine.
What game can you name off the top of your head that suffers from bloat? Too many expansions. It's great by itself, but too much with too many expansions. That's so many games
Mars.
at this point. Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think Terraforming Mars is really good with 1 or 2 expansions.
Yeah. But it's not, I doubt it's going to stop anytime soon. And it already has, 7?
Well, let's see. We got the maps. Then we have Venus.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Prelude. Then we had Colonies. Then we have the new one. And I think there's one other one. I think there's 6.
Yeah. 6, right. Yeah. I think that game doesn't need that many expansions, but I'm perfectly happy just playing the base.
David Phillips, who apparently wants to cause a fight, says, Mike, met you at Dice Tower West and you're not nearly as old or short as Tom posts on the website. How do you plan to retaliate? It still cracks us up in the studio because Roy sometimes it's like, why do people think I'm so young? And Mike's like, why do people think I'm so old? And they're really, I think there's a 10-year difference. It's not that far, right? It might be.
Yeah, it's really not.
12
It's a
years
little
or
more
something.
than that because, yeah, right. Yeah, Roy's
but
33.
all of us at the Dice Tower are within a fairly close range, right?
Are.
And yet, I think it's the gray in your beard. I think that's what it is. And the fact that Roy has a youthful look in his hairstyle and stuff.
Yeah, he absolutely, and in his demeanor too. And I don't mean immature. That's a very different thing. He's energetic and positive.
And you should see him at the studio.
You know
we'll be
mean?
like, we're going to do something. And Roy jumps and runs. And we're like, we'll be there. We'll get
Roy
there.
Literally runs through the office. Yeah, I mean it's and he does it at conventions too. I mean it's inspiring to watch. It's tiring, but it's inspiring too.
Could the lack of sports, says Zachary, right now be an opportunity for the industry to spotlight board gaming? Yes. It won't happen, though? But we can hope. Like ESPN, they'll be like, "Well, nothing else to talk about. Let's go see what the Dice Tower is doing."
We can have professional board gaming competitions. I mean, the thing is, there are esports, and it's interesting though that traditional sports probably aren't going to happen, but esports. I wonder if you can still do that kind of with the social distancing if people are doing them maybe remotely. You know what I mean? If they're doing them from their own homes. So that would be a way that you can still kind of scratch that competitive sports itch through gaming. Just another way that the gaming is a great resource when you have to spend a little time maybe more isolated than you're normal.
All right, I saw a thumb down come up while you said that, Mike. So I don't know what happened there. I think because we said that board games were better than sports. All right, have we ever played?
I'm a sports fan. I'm unabashed. I am a sports fan.
Have you ever played Plants vs. Zombies?
Yep.
That's like a very specific thing. Yeah, I like it, but it got kind of samey after a while for me.
Yeah, it did. It did. It's interesting though that there have been. What are your thoughts on this, Tom? Have you played any tower? Because that's like a tower defense game, right?
Right.
Generally speaking, have you played any board games that you think do that particularly well? Do the tower defense thing? I think it's hard to pull off in a board game.
There's a decent one. It's possible. This is a good question. Let me search here. Tower defense board games. There's one that came out from Sit Down, I think, that I liked. There's a whole family of this at Board Game Geek, so let's see what it says here. I'm going
Yeah.
to.
Well, I'll be interested to see what you think about Cloudspire, because that's definitely that type of a game.
I'm gonna jump to the screen here so people can look at them. Okay, so there's 110 games in this category.
Wow. Okay.
And so Age of Towers, this one here I've played. This one is very tower defense. It's good. Then there's a bunch of Alien Uprising is a little bit like that. That one, I found the rules to be too complex. Besieged, unfortunately, was not very good.
Yeah, that did not do well.
Oh, you know what? Let me go back. Age of Towers is not that good. It's okay. The one I'm thinking of is Bad Bones.
Okay.
Bad Bones is the one I like.
Oh, I didn't know that was a tower defense game. I've seen the cover of it,
for sure.
but I haven't played it.
Bastion is a sort of a tower defense game. I like that one. And Carnival Zombie, that's a Kickstarter I'm waiting to get.
Oh, really? That's an interesting thought. Yeah, that's. I guess
it's
that
one
is
tower
kind of like
and four defenders.
Right. I guess Castle Panic would be very similar in that way, just much simpler, right?
You guys would think Mike could see the screen. The next is Castle Panic. All right. So, doing well so far. Then we got Castle Rampage. I don't know this one as well. Cloudspire.
There you go. Yeah.
I have not played Cloudspire yet, but I just unwrapped it today, so that one's going to be on my list. Dark Age Z and Dawn of the Zeds and Dead Panic.
Oh, Dawn of the Zeds.
Zombie.
Okay.
Let's see here. Dragon Valley is definitely a castle defense game, but it's an okay one. Epic Dice Tower Defense only has 13 ratings, so.
Let's say I'm not familiar with that one.
Let's see. Ghost Stories is a sort of tower defense.
Yeah, that's funny. I wouldn't have thought of it that way, but that is, isn't it? And that's a great game.
Island Siege.
Okay.
Okay, here they got Jeff Davis, the Confederacy at war. I don't know. Maybe it is.
I suppose. I guess if you look at it that way. I mean, you're defending.
The new Kingdom Rush, Rift in Time, coming from, I think it's Lucky Duck who did that one. That one doesn't have a lot of ratings yet, but I think that one will do well. Last Bastion, which is a reworking of Ghost Stories. Munchkin Panic, which is a reworking of Castle Panic. Orcs. That's right. I forgot about that one.
I remember that. That was a Queen game, wasn't it?
It was. Well, it is.
Yeah, it is, yes.
Pints of Blood is not that great of a game. That's from Hook. And that's a game that tries to be the scene in Shaun of the Dead where the zombies are coming into the pub.
Okay.
It's definitely what they're trying to go for. Portal of Morph is a pretty good one, actually, but they had a lot of funky problems.
Okay.
Star Trek Panic, another Castle Panic.
Sure. Yeah.
Stronghold, I would argue, is not castle defense, tower defense, because it's one person against another, and it's more of a give and take.
Like a tug of war type of a thing, yeah?
Tiny Epic Defenders, I guess.
Really? No, I don't think of it that way. I guess you could say that, but I don't think of it that way.
And Village Attacks. I have not played that one. Sam likes it a lot.
Oh. Yeah.
And Xenoshift. Oh, Xenoshift for sure is tower defense.
Okay. I have not played Xenoshift. I know that it's very well regarded.
Alrighty. Well, there you go. That was interesting side thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What's better to play during the lockdown? Online games like Yucata, Board Game Arena, etc., or solo gaming?
I'm not an objective party on this one. It's funny. I was just in the office today talking to Z and Roy about online board gaming, like asynchronous online board gaming, and I'm not a huge fan of it, and neither is Z. Roy said he likes it, but I think that for most games, you don't get any flow at all. You don't. You lose the rhythm of the game. Like for something,
is this where you mean where
chess or something?
Just to clarify, this means you make a move and then you send it, and then maybe 2 hours later they make a move, or sometimes a day.
Sometimes a day, and that's the thing. Now I know on some of these you can set timers, so you can basically, as a players say, okay, well we agree that we're going to make our move within a half hour. But I don't know, that just to me, it's better than nothing, clearly. But I would rather play a good solo game under those circumstances than do an asynchronous game. Now, if they're talking about something like Tabletop Simulator, where you're all playing at the same time, that could be great. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and it's a great option. I mean, I don't know if you have, Tom. I haven't really used Tabletop Simulator very much, or Tabletopia, or whatever they are. I've heard they're really good systems and they're cool, but I haven't really messed with them much.
I played them a little bit. I think they're fun. I definitely would rather do that than the whole I make a move, because what happens is I get it's like, it's your turn. I'm like, okay, and I go in, I'm like, what was going on again?
Right.
I was doing this, and then it's hard to explain, but there's something when you come in and you see the board state, and it's like, wait, how'd that happen?
Yes.
Oh, he did that. I don't know. There's something that's missing. It's kind of like sometimes when you play with somebody, and I won't mention Jason's name, but they go so fast, and they're like, and you're like, wait, what just happened? Rewind.
Right.
Do that slower so I can see how the move worked out.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree.
All right, so here we have a question. So I guess solo wins. Fine. All right.
Oh,
Ivan
okay.
says, Mike, what are you seeking for in a solo mode in a game? What solo modes would you recommend for game designers to inspire from?
Okay. I do get this question quite a bit, so I'm glad, because I think I have a pretty clear answer. I like games, solo games that aren't a beat your high score variant. I like to have an actual win-loss, a clear win-loss condition. I like to, generally speaking, have a game where there's a good ratio between the time it takes to set up and play and tear down the game to the amount of decisions you're playing. I would say that for almost any game, though. But with solo games, if I'm going to pull them off the shelf, I want it to be something where I feel like I'm not spending more time setting it up than I am actually playing it. I also like the Automa, the card, and you're going to give me a little grief about this, because Rado, in your video where you and he were talking, he was saying that Automa has kind of become like almost nomenclature in the board game world to be another way to describe solo modes. I don't agree with that. I think it's a very particular type, but I do like those types where you're flipping over a card and it usually gives like a list of things for the AI to do. So I would say look at the Automa Factory that a lot of the Stonemaier games have. They do really good. And also the Garfield games, Shem Phillips does some really good AI, card-driven AIs.
All right.
Sorry, you asked me on, you're going to get all kinds of solo questions.
What's your favorite class in an RPG? Tom is definitely a bard. I'm not as thrilled with being the bard. I'll play the bard occasionally. I'd rather be the archer or ranger, I guess.
I like being a magic user, but I usually would rather be either a magic user or like a monk who has like some kind of martial arts or hand combat skills. I like being able to do a little bit of magic, but not being the sole focus.
The monk is, I think, my least favorite character, not because of how they operate. I think what they do is really cool. It's just that I love loot so much. And like 90% of the time, like, here's this, but a monk would never use this. I'm like, but let me. Nope.
This monk would.
Alrighty. Let's see here. Jumping through here. Lots of people asking different questions, and I appreciate all that. Lots of people keep asking, do you have suggestions for games that can play remotely with the community? Just anything you can play, really. There's lots of different games that are out there. I mean, some games are going to be harder with the setups and such, but really, I would look into Tabletopia and what are the other ones? Mike, the other...
I think, I'm trying to think. Tabletopia and Tabletop Simulator.
Tabletop Simulator. Those have a ton of different games on them that you can get. Yeah, you have to buy them, but they're not that expensive, and I think it's worth doing it.
And there's some on Steam, too. Like, I know there's I'm kind of tooting my favorite game's horn, but there's a really good Scythe implementation on Steam that I'm pretty sure you can play that live. So that's another option.
That's true. I forgot about that. And then even the iPads and stuff, there are ways to play with other people.
Yeah.
On those, like even
there's a great Raiders of the North Sea.
Hearthstone is a board game, card game. You can play with other people. Mike, did you get rid of games when you moved to Florida?
I did. I had a huge cull, not as many as I wanted to, quite honestly, but I had a really huge cull where I either sold or gave away a large number of games. I still have a closet full of games that I'm looking to, I'm hoping maybe at a Dice Tower, flea market or something to get rid of some more. But I need to pare down my collection. I'm trying to be a little bit more, I don't know, laser focused on what I want to keep. Also, having access to this library, it makes me, you know what I mean? It's like, do I really need to keep all these because I have access to so many great games?
We're just going to take a cart of food over to the library. there's a bathroom there, right? We can.
Right, it's climate controlled.
I don't know. It didn't feel very climate controlled today. I guess it is. All right.
No? Yeah.
From one home score to another, says Amy, are you secretly giggling inside when people freak out about having their kids home 24/7? On one hand, yes. And I went into church yesterday, which is probably the last time I'll do that in a while. But I was like, I'm the OG of having kids at home. Ask me questions. It's really all my wife, But at the same time, all joking aside, I understand it's a disruption if you're not used to it. It's a really big deal. So I giggle, but I understand, why it is the way it is. Why is flea market on Sunday at Dice Tower West? I don't know. I figured it was the best day they could do it. I suppose that
it worked out well from what I understand, right?
There were certain people. I guess if you're not going to make it on Sunday, it could be frustrating, but that could be any event we run on Sunday.
That's true.
This is the both of us. What is your favorite part about working in a Dice Tower? What is your least favorite part about the work? My favorite part is meeting people, both online and in person, who have enjoyed our work. There's nothing even a remote second to that. It is such a great feeling. My least favorite, taxes. and basically administrative stuff in general. I'm just not a fan of that.
Yeah, my and I've only been doing it for a little while, so I don't think that you can put as much weight into mine as into Tom's, certainly. But I think my favorite thing so far is the kind of personal connections. I mean, I've really, and I've said this before, it's a joy to go into work every day and to enjoy what you're doing and to enjoy the people that you're doing it with. I don't take that for granted for a single second. And so my favorite thing is looking forward to going into work every day. That's something that I absolutely do not take for granted. I don't know. Okay, I do. But my least favorite thing is I have not quite gotten the hang of when I'm being trolled by Kenny yet. I'm almost. You got to give me another year and a half. Kenny is a master. I think that I'm actually I think I have a really pretty good troll detector, but he's another level. Kenny is an absolute another level. You never can tell when he's telling you the truth or not.
Yeah. Do we know if Quacks of Quedlingburg is going to get another expansion? Actually, you said Quacks of Quiddling Quack, which is a cooler name. I don't know that it needs another expansion. It's a really solid game, and the expansion adds a lot of stuff. I'm not bored of it yet.
It's going to get one, though.
Tom, what's the biggest challenge you face being the president of the Dice Tower? There's so many things, right? Maybe what we're doing now, 2020? It's very possible. And then there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that you guys will never see that are extremely challenging. Issues and things that rise up, and we don't make all of our problems that we have public. That's just not the thing. But there are some big things sometimes that have happened. The fight between Mike and Z one time, the knife fight. That is not.
Oh man, yeah. I've never heard Z quite that angry.
Man, we're really behind in questions. So I'm skipping a lot of them. Then someone said, how many downloads do you think Tabletop Simulator got in the last few weeks? Probably quite a bit of them.
I know that, that they were saying that Steam was very, very active. And I think one of is it Yukata? I think that's a European online board gaming thing. I think that they had basically had to stop for a while because they were overloaded. So I think a lot of people are doing online gaming right now.
I think we're even sensing here, at least I am at the home, I'm sensing a slight slowdown of the internet because I think everybody's on it.
Yes, absolutely.
Paper Monk says, what do you think of the future of these big miniature game Kickstarters or even Games Workshop now that 3D printing is where it's at? You can print incredible quality already. I would argue that you would need an amazing printer that costs a lot of money to get quote-unquote incredible quality. Because I can still tell if something's 3D printed almost all the time.
Sure. But
still, it's exciting. We're getting our first 3D printer Wednesday.
Yeah. Yeah, so, that's gonna be fun. I'm really glad that Roy's gonna be working on that.
Roy's. Let's see here. Do you think that our desire for older board games will sharpen and change
as a result
of recent events? I guess, are we going to play more older games? Actually, I think I'm going to keep playing new games because I have time. The biggest thing that it's going to do is it's going to allow me to play a lot of games that have come in that I wasn't planning to play. I'm going to play some garbagey games. Have you ever set a board game on fire? I have. Mike?
I have not. No, I've never set a board game on fire.
Tom, will you be doing more unboxing games? Occasionally. What are some good dead CCGs?
Oof. I just said on that reroll video that I'm not a big CCG player, so I mean, I'm not a good resource for this. I know that, would you call Netrunner a CCG, or is that in a living card game?
No, that was a CCG at first. I mean, if you played it back when it was a CCG.
I know that had a great reputation.
Overpower. Star Wars. Battletech. Battletech is great. Chrissy says, Mike, I had a great time playing Dice Hospital at Dice Tower West. I know you're recording a vlog.
Awesome.
When will that be released? And where should I look for it?
It's lovely to hear from you again.
We're scheduling it tomorrow.
Yeah, I just finished it up. It's going to be in two segments, and once we get it on the schedule, we'll pop it up there. So relatively soon.
Let's see. What board game did I set on fire? Well, I can't remember. I think it was Monopoly. What I did was we were making an intro for a one of our top 100s one time, and so we destroyed games in the backyard. Melody and the girls helped me do it. We ran a lawnmower for one. We watered one down with a hose, and we grilled them. But what I did was I went to a thrift store and found a bunch of just ratty destroyed games, and those are the ones we destroyed. Because people acted like I had destroyed stuff. Like, no, it was for entertainment, but I tried to find really bad ones. Apparently, Tabletopia has had a steady increase of players this week. 5,000 to 6,000 players playing each day.
Wow. That's great. That's a wonderful way to connect.
Did you ever watch Tabletop by Will Wheaton?
I am familiar.
Well, yes, I did. I didn't watch all of them, but I watched a good amount of them. I would actually, since I've seen the games, right? Will Wheaton never played a game that I didn't know. Well, with the exception of, what's that Jenga RPG called?
Oh, yeah. I don't remember what it's called.
Everything falls apart in the game. I forget what it's called. Anyway, but other than that, I already knew the game, so I would just pick them based on the people playing the games. And I think my favorite of all of them was when he played Concept with a comedian who was not funny, but also Rhett and Link, who were. The guys from Good Mythical Morning I really like those guys a lot. I love those are people. If I ever met them in person, I'd be like, "Ooh, I'd like to shake your hand." Wow, that I'm very impressed by what they do.
Yeah, tabletop was mostly about the personalities for me. I think that the production quality was really good, and I think it showed that there was maybe an audience out there for that type of more mainstream content. But it was I'm with you. I usually watched based on who was on.
Did you ever get in a Candy Crush? I've never played it once.
No, I don't. If I've played it, it didn't stick long because I don't know that I have. I mean, it's just a match 3 game, isn't it?
Yeah, isn't that, to me, when it comes to online games or basically iPad games and stuff, am I the only person who's finding that particular thing super boring? That shuffle things around to get 3 in a row the same color? Mm-hmm. I don't find that. It's slightly interesting for a while. I just don't know why there's like 200 variations on it.
I'd argue that it's almost supposed to be boring. I think that it's something that is specifically designed to be almost mindless and almost meditative. You're not putting a lot of thought into it. You're almost just kind of like, you know what I mean? I think you're using an almost subconscious part of your brain to do that. You know what I mean?
I get that. That makes sense. Are you a cat person or a dog person? No, someone asked that. Talon Gray. They asked both of us. I'm a cat person.
Okay.
No, I'm a dog person. Come on now. It's not even close.
I like both, but I'm the other way around. I'm a cat person and quite a bit more of a cat person. Although I've had dogs, growing up, but I do like kitties.
This question gets asked. Nazer says, question for both of you. Me and my friends log gaming entries into the Board Game Geek app, and there's often a debate on whether app games played or online play should be logged. Where do you guys stand? I don't know if I could hold up a big enough sign that says, who cares? I mean, do what you want. If you want to log online games, I'm not going to come there and be like, you're not a gamer. Who cares? Is there like a contest to see who plays the most?
Yeah, I think it's odd. I think people think that it kind of diminishes your gamer cred one way or the other. But no, I don't care one way or the other. I don't log them, but I don't care if someone does. It's not like I say, "Oh, that's an invalid." Who cares?
This person thinks we're really good at Stonemeyer games because they said, "What's your favorite faction player mat combination and size?" I can tell you my favorite faction is the one who. What is my favorite faction? I'm trying to think now. There's.
You were saying it was one of the Fenris ones.
Oh yeah, the one of the new ones that was introduced in Fenris, right? But I don't. What mat combo? I just get whatever combo that you get, and I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And I work around it, whatever it is.
Yeah, randomize it.
I don't think
I like the Togawas, even though I'm horrible at them. But I like that they're purple, and B, I do like setting the traps.
Let's see here. When playing a solo game, where do you draw the line between personal accountability and changing things on your turn? I find I can tweak things in my favor more in a solo game. Is that cheating? That sign that I said "Who cares" on, I need to find it.
Yeah, we just need to keep.
Well, no, I mean, and this time, because at the end of the day, it's you. If it doesn't bother you, what does it matter? It's not like, I don't know, if you're having fun. I mean, we've done that in cooperative games before. We're like, you know what? We're not quite sure, so we're going to fudge things in our favor on this particular rule. What does it matter?
Right.
Now, in a competitive game, it's more problematic. Don't cheat in a game where you're playing against somebody else.
Correct. Yeah, I generally don't do re-rolls or take-backs when I'm playing a solo game, but it's only because I oftentimes am not all that concerned about winning. I just am kind of trying to enjoy the experience, so it doesn't much matter.
Tom, we need an online Dice Tower game show. What? We do them. In fact, this coming Wednesday is Dice Tower Tonight. Crystal and Eric do that sort of thing. And every Thursday morning, there's an online game show.
Usually 2.
Let's see. Tom would be a shadow ent, and Mike would be an arcane rogue. I don't even know what a shadow ent is.
Isn't an ant a tree person?
Yeah, I think so. But what's a shadow ent? That's like a. I said it's actually just a tree. I'm like, I'm pretending.
A tree.
Like, am I an ent or not? You'll never know, because I'm going to stand here all day.
That's right. I'm going to provide shadow.
Jumping up here. Small side note. If you type in all capital letters, your question, the chance of it getting answered is quite small. In your video for Vicious Fishes, you said you used tiles from a game called Fossil for your prototype, but you never talked about it. Why is it a bad game? All right. Well, you know what? I'm actually going to have to pull this one up because it's been a while since I've seen Fossil. So Fossil, which came out in 1998. It's designed by Klaus Palisch, artist Franz Vohinkel. It was published originally by Gold Sieber Spiel. They made games in pretty big-sized boxes. And then Rio Grande brought it to America. And you were just hunting down pieces of fossils. So you would find these different tiles here. Oh, wow, look at this. This person, well, you can't see this, Mike, but it shows a picture of the game, and someone says, this game is incredibly photogenic. And like, yes, Mr. 2006. That is not the same thing today. I would argue that it's not. And I think you were trying to build a fossil. You were moving pieces on the board, collecting tiles, and then building a fossil out of them. And it was okay. And I used it because, well, that was what I had available to me.
When's the last time you've played Vicious Fishes, Tom?
Shut up.
No, I'm legitimately curious.
I don't even know. We have a copy in the Dice Tower library, which let's see if it was checked out.
That would be great.
Let's see. All right, Vicious Fishes. Microsoft Excel cannot find the data you're searching for. All right, let's see if nothing personal was checked out. Hang on, maybe I'm... Come on. It's got to be there. No. It was not checked out. Either game. Yep, well, I'm checking to see if other games were checked out. Catan. Yes, Catan was checked out.
Okay.
Evil High Priest was checked out once.
Oh, really? Okay.
Nothing personal. 0.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, I thought we said this was a positive feed here.
Well, sorry.
Alrighty. Oh, that's a good question. Andrew says, while gaming, do you guys prefer to make decisions that advance your own agenda or make decisions that hinder your opponent's progress?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. I'm always much more concerned about advancing my own progress. I'm not. I usually will not go out of my way to hate draft unless the balance of the game, like a game like Blood Rage, sometimes to keep the balance of the game, I'll do a hate draft. But I'm usually more concerned with advancing my own cause. But yeah, that's just my gaming style generally.
Do you play board games with breaks in between or continuously until the game ends? Oh, by the way, I agree with Mike on what he said there. It depends how long the game is. Yeah. Very rarely do we take a break in the middle of a game, but if it's a really long one, I would say 3 hours. If the game's 3 hours, usually I might say, we'll take a break. Although, we've taken unintentional ones, like we're in the middle of a game, maybe it's 2 hours. Someone gets a phone call. They're like, guys, I got to take this. And you're like, you know what, guys, let's just take a break. While they're on the phone, we'll do this, that, that sort of thing. Other than that, I kind of go through all the way.
Yeah, I do too.
What incoming Kickstarter are you most excited to see arriving at the office? You mean besides Starcadia Quest? There's a lot. All right,
Marvel United.
Let's take a look here. Let me go through Kickstarter. I'm going to sign in under my secret account, and I'm going to go through all the back projects that I have, and we'll see which ones we're interested in. So we'll go through. Does this show my name? It does not. Okay, great. So I'll show the screen.
Okay, so you're gonna have them on the screen. You'll have to tell me because I can't see it.
All right, so here we go. We got the Matchbox collection.
Oh, those little games. Yeah, those looked really cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump down here to. I'm going to jump down to ones that are not just backed, right? Because this would be too early. All right, so let's go down. Here we go. All right, Calico. That's about cats.
Oh, I remember that.
Sovereign Skies, Ruins of Mars, Unicorn Fever. I'm very interested in. That's the redone version of Horse Fever.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Let's see, Arch Ravels. That's the one about yarn. I'm very interested in seeing that one.
Oh, I don't even know if I know about that one.
Yeah, it was at Gen Con last year. I saw it. You collect resources to get yarn, and then you use those yarns to knit things. It's a very straightforward set collection game, but I like the theme a lot.
Yeah, that theme sounds great.
Merchant's Cove sounds interesting.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting that one. I'm backing that. That's like where you're playing completely different games, basically. Like every character plays a different game.
Mark McLaughlin's War and Peace showed up today, but that one I got solely for the library. Shovel Knight. That one maybe, I don't know. Oh, Sleeping Gods. I'm very excited about Sleeping Gods.
Oh, yeah, me too. That's probably my number one that I'm looking forward to that I'm backing.
Huh. So, Hexplore It. Wasn't that game that Jeremy talked about on our Top 10 Adventure Games? And I said, I never heard of it, but apparently I've backed it.
Apparently you've heard of it.
Trudvang Legends from, come on, for sure. Mm-hmm. Oh, Etherfields.
Okay.
I'm super pumped about Etherfields, for sure.
Oh, yeah, that's Awakened Realms, yeah?
I'm excited about the new expansion for Role Player. The expansion for Dinogenics.
I still haven't played Dinogenics.
Let's see here. There's a lot of stuff that is going to come eventually. That Alter Quest, I don't know. Ikeon. Oh, I'm super pumped about Ikeon, but not too excited because that literally came today. Yeah, I should check this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's made by the guys who made Miss Thea. And I really like that one.
Oh, right. Okay. And I know which one you're talking about now. Yeah.
Let's see here. Kingdom Rush. We were just talking about that. Cleopatra. Ooh. When that comes, I'm super pumped about the Cleopatra and the Society of Architects.
Yeah,
that was supposed to arrive. That was supposed to arrive this month, but I'm suspecting that one was delayed.
I still love the original and
Bloodborne, the board game, is kind of interesting.
Okay.
Blood on the Clock Tower? That was supposed to come January 2020. That one must be delayed.
It must be. Yeah, boy, that game had a lot of buzz.
Carnival Zombie was supposed to be here in November 2019, so,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's had delays.
Yeah, there's a lot of these old games that, but, well, there you go. Alrighty, let's...
So, Dinogenics or Dinosaur Island, Tom? Because I haven't played Dinogenics. Which one, is one better than another, or are they different enough that you can play them both?
You haven't played either.
No, I love Dinosaur Island. I haven't played
Dinogenics is just a very different game. It's a lighter game of Dinosaur Island, but it's about getting DNA to build dinosaurs. I don't know if you would like it better or not. I think it's a very good game.
Okay.
I think I like Dinosaur Island a little bit better. Well, actually, more than a little bit better, but I think they're both really solid games. I just actually reviewed Dinogenics 1 year ago, today, or tomorrow, or something like that.
Because you did the look back. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, this person says, so apparently Tom is really rich. Well, no, this is all built into budgets from our conventions.
Yes.
We would not back games at all, almost at all, but we put these games, we want to put the nice versions of these games into the Dice Tower library. So this is not my games. These are games going to the Dice Tower library. I get games I don't even like because we want to make the Dice Tower library good. This is all budgeted out for sure. It has nothing to do with being rich or not. So...
And when you see that library, you see where that goes. I mean, that is, to me, there's a lot of reasons to go to a Dice Tower event. I mean, I think we have amazing attendees that, generally speaking, are pleasant to be around. I think that we have a really good crew. We've had amazing volunteers. But you've got this traveling library that I think is, I mean, it's amazing. It really is. And it takes a lot to cultivate that.
All right, so a few questions. Quick picks here before we go. Do you like root beer? Yes.
Sure, of course.
Man, I really
although
want to
cream
drink some
soda's
root beer. I agree with Mike, actually. What color?
Mm-hmm.
Mike?
Oh, it's got to be red cream. Got to be red cream.
Red cream is almost the right answer. Orange cream is technically better.
Oh.
Because it's like creamsicle.
That's true.
But red cream is better than white cream.
And you make it afloat with some French vanilla ice cream, and now you're talking.
Stop it, Michael. All right. What was one of your favorite toys growing up?
Legos.
Actually, you know what I like better than Legos? Is Constructs. Did you ever play with those?
Oh, really? Yeah, those were great. Those were good, yeah. I also
build
liked
like
bristle blocks when I was really little.
Oh, yes,
yeah.
I played with those too. But G.I. Joe was my thing of choice. I would have loved it more had I owned any. My neighbors had it all, but I love G.I. Joe.
Sure.
Alrighty, folks, that's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow. We're doing a little bit of live. Me and Roy are going to do some Magic the Gathering back and forth tomorrow afternoon. Then tomorrow night, I'll be back again doing another one of these chats. And then Wednesday, we got crowd surfing. We're going to try to keep doing live stuff throughout this whole time, folks, because, hey, we're here together. And have a great time. If you ever need anything, don't hesitate to come on our things, chat, tell us. Right now, the Jack Vasel Memorial Fund auction is live. So go check that out, jackvasel.org. But it's on Board Game Geek. It's a geek list. If you check my Facebook profile, I posted a link on the Twitter. Some really cool stuff, and so just trying to get people to check that out. You can really help people, especially now when some people are going to need help more than ever. So... Alrighty, folks. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel.
I am Mike DiLisio.
We'll see y'all next time.